Hi, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us to hear our top 5 reasons to study abroad. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Imane Samati, and I'm originally from Morocco, from the program's town Meknes, which is one of the four imperial city. It was the capital during the kingdom during the 17th century. I have been working with ISA for the last 14 years. I'm in charge of all the aspects of the program once on site, including academics, housing, cultural immersions. And I have got 21 alumni students with me today to help share her wonderful experience while she was in Morocco. Hi, Nadine.
Hey, Mom, long time no see. Hi, everyone. My name is Nadine. I studied abroad in Meknes, Morocco with wonderful Iman, of course, in fall 2019 and this past fall 21. That picture right there is from my most recent semester abroad. Probably have like the same hairstyle and lipstick going on. But so I chose to study abroad in Morocco for a lot of reasons. One of them being language study. Morocco's a great location to study formal Arabic as well as Moroccan Arabic. I'm also first generation Moroccan American. So coming from a small town in New Jersey, I didn't really get to interact with North African Muslim identifying people like myself for the majority of my childhood. So getting to kind of experience my culture and my heritage firsthand on the ground was like so life changing for me. I really didn't think I was going to fall in love with Morocco the way I did. I was only 19 when I studied abroad in 2019. But of course, I fell head over heels, so much so that I came back last semester and got to hang out some more. So, we're just going to talk about some of the top 5 reasons why Morocco is such a fantastic location, even though I've got maybe like a million and one. But yeah, let's get started with reason number 5. Morocco truly is a melting pot of languages and landscapes. So, for one, in the Meknes Morocco program, you can study French or Arabic courses, but of course, there are classes taught in English, so no sweat if you don't want to study French or Arabic. Aside from that, people speak a lot more than that. People also speak Spanish. Some people speak German. Some people speak Tamazight, which is the indigenous language of indigenous North Africans. ISA does not offer courses in those languages. However, it's amazing how everywhere you go, someone's speaking a different language. For one, I know during like our first excursion last semester, we were taking a tour in the Hassan II Mosque. And I remember, Iman, our tour guide was like, yeah, I speak English, Arabic, French, little German, little Dutch, little Japanese, little Chinese. I was like, oh my God, like, wow, people in this country can speak in every language. So that's pretty impressive. I'll say too, Morocco has all different kinds of landscapes. Whether you're going down to the Sahara Desert, which is an excursion and it's a really fun one. There's also the Atlas Mountains, there's the Mediterranean Sea, there's beaches, there's the Atlantic coast. Morocco basically has everything for everyone. So if there's something you haven't seen or experienced yet in the US, like myself, I'd never like really been close to mountains. You can see them firsthand in Morocco. So that's my take on kind of the melting pot that is Morocco. What about you, Iman?
So, yeah, as you said, so many cultures and languages to learn and take advantage of. Now we move to slide 4, which is off the beaten path. So, students who choose the Moroccan program learn so much about the culture while studying in Morocco. It's um, it's indeed like different from your own cultures. Uh, from where you come, so you can, as Nadine said, like you can see the 4 seasons in one day throughout Morocco. For example, the desert trip, from which is an 8 hours from Meknes to the desert, like you can experience the, I would say, summer, then winter with snow, and then this and then spring, and then once you get to the desert, it's completely sand and dry weather. So it's a very unique place for those who with adventurous spirit. It's also for me, it's like a special program for those who really would like to immerse themselves into the culture. It's a program that offers homestay as well as apartment, and as you know, the best way to immerse yourself into a culture is to do a homestay and experience it from the local people. But the unique thing about the Meknes program is that besides offering homestays, we offer apartments, an apartment that comes with a housekeeper who will be cooking your meals from Monday to Saturday. So this option doesn't exist nowhere in the four corner of the world. So it will be like a nice catch. This way, by this we wanted to offer you the Moroccan cuisine, so you can, and it can be cooked by a local person, so you can enjoy it, which is one of our pride in Moroccan culture. Okay, Nadine.
No, I totally agree. And so I did both apartment and homestay because I, of course, came to Morocco twice. And I will say the housekeeper, like, she is also a source of like cultural knowledge, again, because she's cooking your food and you can ask questions, you can watch her cook, you can cook with her. So if you are looking to get more of that like intimate cultural experience, you're getting that no matter what you do and where you go in Morocco. I'll say too, like studying abroad in a non-Western culture is really important and eye-opening. Again, Morocco is not like so different because, for example, you can go down to the beauty store or the grocery store, you can find all the same, body washes, hair products. You can find pretty much all of the same stuff you would in a Western country like the US or in Europe. But there are things you can see and do in Morocco that you cannot see or do anywhere else. So if you are trying to do something a little more different and to really engage with the culture that you might not have a lot of knowledge of, but you do want to dive in, this is the place to do it. Like even for myself, I was raised by Moroccan immigrants in America, but I still learned so much about my culture and history, not only just from my classes, but from Iman, my professors, my local friends, shopkeepers, just like everywhere I went, I was experiencing something different. I even learned a lot about like our different traditions. So I know in some Moroccan families, they do like engagement ceremonies differently. I went to my friend's cousin's engagement ceremony. So I learned a lot more about the process of like, asking for the hand in marriage and then the engagement and then the wedding party. So again, wherever you go, whoever you talk to, you're getting this like cultural knowledge, like all up in your face. It's an amazing experience. And it really is, there's nowhere like it on earth. So I'm biased, but highly approve of that. But moving on to reason number 3, another thing that makes the Morocco program so great is that it's nearby and affordable. So, for example, a direct flight from JFK in New York City to Casablanca is only 7 hours. So when you compare that to flying out to, let's say, somewhere in Asia Pacific, it's not that far. I know a lot of people during my first program had their like roommates from school or like their parents come down for like a week or a weekend to kind of tour the country and do stuff like that as well. So that's pretty exciting. I'll say too, like Iman had said, the unique apartment situation is also what makes the program so affordable because usually apartments don't come with meals included when you're doing an ISA program, but the apartments in Morocco do. So you are covered for breakfast, lunch, and dinner those 6 days out of the week. And honestly, the Morocco program is one of the more affordable ISA teen programs. This was a major factor as to why I chose to go abroad with Morocco and why I chose to do it again. I was a high financial needs student, so I was like on every grant. I had all the loans. So going abroad to Morocco honestly saved me money in the long run. And there's plenty of scholarship resources offered by ISA, as well as different external scholarships for students who are interested in studying Arabic, like the critical language scholarship, all good stuff like that. So again, you get to have this really immersive cultural experience with tons of things to do, lots of amazing food, and it's not too far from home and it's not too expensive. So that's how I feel about it. Why do you think it's so affordable, Iman?
I think it's so affordable. Uh, its a proximity with Europe, as mainly Spain and the rest of the European countries. For example, we have those cheap airlines like Ryanair that like a weekend trip from north of Africa to Europe, anywhere in Europe can cost you sometimes €5 for a round trip ticket. It's of course like you are not allowed to take a big suitcase, only like only a small one and with a limited number of pounds, but it's still worth it. Some of my favorite local bargains is when like you want to go to the old part of the city, which we call the Medinas. And it's like as if you open a gate to the past, like you are walking through like hundreds of years of history and finding those like art craft shops where you can buy like leather, ceramic, or just like pottery and all that kind of stuff, all in one place in the between the old walls of the Medinas. Now we switch to reason two why Morocco is a great destination is the culture. So the culture is amazing. You will feel like you are breaking the rules. For example, you can eat with your hands like all Moroccan does. As you know, like we don't like serve food in. I'm talking about like if you live in homestay in families, we don't serve food in like personal plates, but with like a communal plate in the middle, and everyone again using your hands, your fingers to eat from the same plate. Moroccan people stay late, probably also ate their dinners late. And the best part of it is that you will become part of the community, as it is like well known for its hospitality. I think Moroccans are I'm talking like in the Arab world and Islamic world, they are like by their certificate that they are the best like hospitable people.
Mhm. No, I totally agree. And honestly, the amount of times that I've like gone to my friend's house and they serve dinner at like 11 and they're like, no, 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 get her a fork. She doesn't want to eat with her hands. I'm like, I can eat with my hands, like hollow out the bread and like scoop up the food. I'm like, I promise I'm Moroccan too. But truly, everyone really is like that in Morocco. Everyone's so eager to share their culture, to share whatever they have with you, to really include you and make you part of the family, even though by all means you kind of are like a complete stranger. I'll never forget. I went to the Medina one time and we went to the store where they sell like all of these beautiful handcrafted like metal goods. And I was there with my roommates. So they're shopping, they're doing whatever, and I'm just kind of off to the side. One of the shopkeepers came up to me, sort of talking to me, and I was practicing my Arabic. So I spoke to him in a little bit of Arabic, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm Moroccan, blah blah blah." I wasn't going to buy anything. So as we're walking out, the shopkeeper comes up to me and he's like, "Oh no, where are you going? It's Friday." I'm like, "It's Friday? Yeah, of course. Yep, sounds like a Friday." He's like, "No, no, no, we're eating couscous. Do you want to sit down and eat with us?" I couldn't believe that this like total stranger who owns a shop in the Medina was like, "We have a chair for you. Please come eat couscous with us." And I was like, "Oh, I'm like literally so full. I just had my weights in couscous at my homestay. But thank you." So again, total stranger, but it's amazing how people just invite you into their homes or offer to share with you whatever you have, even if you're lost or you need help. Everyone's so willing to help you.
Sorry to interrupt you, Nadine, but you reminded me of an anecdote that's happened about the couscous. So one day, a few years ago, we were invited by a professor.
Mhm.
He invited his students at class and also invited the INC staff. So we went to his house and he served. You know how big is the couscous plate?
Mhm.
And one of the students. So in our dialect, the Darija, the spoken language, we call it the zucchini. It means the ass. So that student, she saw a big piece of zucchini on the plate on the top of the couscous, and she just like opened her mouth. She said, "Oh my God, zucchini kabir!" Means like a big zucchini, and like everyone started laughing because for us it means like a big ass. That was
Oh
one of
my God. Yeah. And I mean, again, myself too, I did choose to study Arabic because it's like a critical language and it's also, my heritage language. And there were so many academic and career opportunities for it. But I will say I've had my fair share of like faux pas and mispronunciations that have made me look crazy. So again, you don't have to speak Arabic or French when you're in Morocco. A lot of people speak English and all of your classes will be in English. But if you do go down the Arabic, French, whatever route and you make some mispronunciations, they might laugh, but no one is going to like be mean to you. And I promise everyone always like tried to like correct me and teach me like, no, 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 pronounce it this way because what you just said was something crazy. Um, but aside from that, that brings me to the next point. My number one reason for why Morocco is one of the best studied abroad locations. Oh my God, again and again and again, it's the people. I'll never forget during my last semester abroad, the same guy who spoke like 12 languages at the Hassan II Mosque, someone had asked him like, okay, what's the best way to enjoy Morocco? What's the most important thing we need to do in Morocco? And I believe his exact words literally was, be around Moroccan people. You will learn so much from them. I have learned so much from them. I mean, these pictures are from both my semesters abroad. That's my host mom. Those are my friends. That's my professor. The people in Morocco are the nicest in the world. I mean, again, they're beyond hospitable. They're beyond curious. They're beyond friendly. My host mom, of course, treated me like a daughter. It was my 21st birthday, and I told her, oh, we're going to have some friends over. This woman spent 2 days in the kitchen making everything from cakes to pizza. She bought ice cream. She made like fruit punch for us. She was like, I'm going to put everything out. You and your friends go sit down, enjoy your birthday. I mean, who's going to do that for you? You know, like these are the nicest people under the sun. Again, that guy in the souk who wanted to offer me couscous, again, beyond nice. And even too, your on-site staff are nice. So again, that's my professor in the bottom corner. He treated me like a daughter. He was always there for me, whether it was for Arabic language questions or just needing some help adjusting to Morocco. Iman is beyond nice. I've been to her house. She's always in the office. So whenever I needed something or just needed to get something off my chest, I could just walk into the office and hang out with her. And the locals are so cool, especially the students. Like if you get to interact with local Moroccan students, by all means, please do that. You'll learn so much from them about their culture, their perspective, their lifestyle, and also some stuff like their favorite foods and their favorite music. Shout out to Moroccan rap music. It goes hard. But honestly, 10 out of 10. The people made the experience for me, and they're the reason why I came back a second time. But you tell me more about the people, Iman, because of course you know all about that.
Well, my pleasure during these years of working, and since I started working with ISA, my big pleasure was to host students every time, a new group of students, and show them like an authentic meal, an authentic experience of the culture, a culture that I personally became more appreciating that I have it. It's thanks to them, and through their eyes, I became like aware of the richness of my culture, and I have more appreciation toward it, and do all my best so I can show it and make the students feel it through either through the cultural activities that we organize, and it's a lot, either to taking the student to the public bath, which is the hammam, or like to the Medina for some bargaining sessions, or to like a cooking class, leading cooking classes and stuff like that. Okay, Nadine, we talked earlier about Morocco being off the beaten path, but what was some of your similarity you found to US?
And this is honestly like if I had to do another one of these and it was like things I wish I knew before I went to Morocco, myself included. Again, Morocco is a non-Western culture, so it's very different, but don't forget too, it's like 2022. Globalization is well and alive these days. So some similarities I found with the US would be in terms of like things you can buy. Of course, when you go to the market, you want to buy souvenirs, traditional stuff. I know for the Moroccan hammam, the baths, you need to buy like henna and certain things. But for all of us who are preparing our suitcases, please do not feel the need to like pack your weight in shaving cream or hair products or your favorite snacks. The grocery store literally has everything. I mean, down to like the Shea Moisture hair products I use for my curly hair. Yes, curly hair care, very important. I saw it at a beauty store. So again, it's a different culture, but please don't think that you're going to an entirely different planet. All of the same products, snacks, clothes. I know in that picture where I was in Chefchaouen, like sitting on the blue stairs, I bought that jacket in Morocco for the same price as I would in the US. So in terms of packing considerations, anything you need, you will find in Morocco. So that was one of the biggest similarities, and something that I'm always trying to tell people, like, please don't overpack things that you can just buy there.
Okay, Nadine, this has been so fun walking down memory lane with you. I would like to connect If you would like to connect with an alumni, just like Nadine, we will put a link in the chat so you can complete it and we'll pair you up with an alumni. Thank you for joining us today and feel free to email us on info@studiesabroad.com if you have any questions.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. Masalama. Salama.
Salama. It was nice talking to you.
You too, Iman. Bye, guys.
Bye.